Game number one, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, we're here. We had a lot of time to bridge, and now we have CE versus Boluo. And if you're watching this on YouTube right now, I have sad news for you. Boluo is already out of the tournament, pretty much. Well, they're actually still in, as you can see, but they cannot advance to the next round any longer. They're currently in 5th position, and unfortunately for them, they are so far behind SPT that there is no way for them to catch up. Even if Boluo wins every single game right now, which is unlikely, and SPT loses everything, they will still be tied in points, in maps, and because of the direct comparison, SPT takes the claim then and advances. So Boluo is already out. We can therefore expect this to be maybe a little bit more of a fan service match. They had an unfortunate incident also in the last series that they played. I didn't even upload that. That was against BTG, because apparently the PC of 365 died just as they were preparing for the game. He had to go to an internet cafe, and it took him a bit too long, and therefore they got a death loss on the first map already. Started therefore into the best of 2 with an 0-1, and then played, let's just put it like composition that didn't really make too much sense for them. So yeah. Either way, at this point, we're going to see them still play against CE, so another series worth watching for sure. But as mentioned before, for them, nothing changes any longer. CE, there's still quite a bit on the line for them. They obviously want to improve their own standing within the top 4, just so that they have an opportunity to get a better position in the gauntlet itself, the next round of the tournament, the step ladder system that we have there. And since this is Infernal Shrines, we have the early Alex Strasser commitment. We talked in the past a bit about how Alex is quite popular on the Chinese region right now, and in this case, I mean, Infernal Shrines is her best map, but also she gets played on Volskaya Foundry, for example. Diablo Turanda Sylvanas, the setup for Boluo, as we are heading into that first game in just a moment. So Boluo, they had a couple of like role swaps back and forth the entire time. Not sure how they're gonna play this out today. I'm actually a bit surprised that so far we haven't really seen them with even more off-meta picks. I would expect that Wooby at least is going to get an off-laner that is a bit out of the box. We played D.Va and Ragnaros lately, so that's something that we could see here from them. Bans are coming in total. CE banned out Zeratul, Maiev and Imperius. And for Boluo, as you can see at the bottom right, we had Ana, ETC and Malthael removed. Leo comes in for CE. A little bit of slows also to get even more advantage from Phoenix's own builds, and we have an Uberak coming in for them. It's a bit late of an Uberak pick if you compare it to the European meta, so there's definitely a difference there. And the only question is, what are we gonna get from Boluo right now? Are we gonna get one of those off-lane, off-meta picks from Wooby that I just talked about? Jimmy and Urel. Full tryhard combo. Alright, fair enough. I'm actually surprised in a positive way. They're gonna go for it here and see what they can do against CE. Game number 1, Infernal Shrines, with Tigers as the last pick for CE. Game on! Game number 1 between CE and Boluo, the Swedes in China. On the left side, we're having our Korean-Chinese mix with High Gonda and Reset, hailing from Korea. And yeah, let's check out if today we're actually going to see Boluo do well here. Honestly, it would be a little bit of a meme if all of a sudden Boluo comes out swinging and just drops CE with a 2-0. That would be a little bit weird, to say the least, and a bit unfortunate for them too, since a big problem that they had was just the beginning of this group stage, where they were losing maps against opponents that they should definitely take down. Very unfortunate losses too. And they came out with a quick kill! Reina goes down though, so there's at least a counter kill for CE, but the aggression from Boluo as they jump in and take them apart pretty quickly. Nicely done there. So that at least worked out with the Phoenix kill, but then Jimmy dying too set us into an even setup. Yeah, Poik? Okay. Needs to be a bit careful. Thankfully for him, he didn't jump onto the wave, or he would have been stunned out by Gonda, who was banking his hopes with that little stun on him using that escape attempt. But he didn't, just moved out of harm's way. So up to the top lane, Wooby is still playing his 1 versus 1 against 425 right now. Not to be mixed up with 420, that's something else. Gia on the front line here again, and with 365 on the support. So pretty much the setup that they used last week. They had a few adjustments yesterday, and yeah, they've been looking for a good setup at the front line in particular, and I find the solution with Gia so far to be the best here. But once again, we're having now the attempt at an evade of the camp. CE is holding tightly onto that, so he's not losing out on anything here. But this could be a good one. Again, CE is currently in the number 2 position in the standings, so they are very eager to attack BTG by trying to claim a 2-0 victory here and then slowly putting themselves into the pole position. If they can manage that and finish the group stage in the number 1 spot, it would mean that they only have to play a single game, a single series in the gauntlet bracket system, the final stage of the tournament here, in order to crown themselves the champions. So that's a huge advantage that you would get out of the standings. And Gia already with the engage, but 4-5 can simply move away with Leoric. Goes walking away from this one. And at the same time, Poik in trouble at the bot lane. And we're back in the game. Poik actually survived this one, so that was a little bit of a 3-2-3 moment as they had to pause the game here. Apparently some tech issues. But interestingly enough, Poik, even though badly hurt, was able to move out with Sylvanas, so it doesn't fall here. It was a good attempt though by CE. They're now starting to move straight in for the camps again. Both of them actually do. We're having Boluo starting to send Reyna over to the top right to take their camp. In this case, the bigger they are taken for Tychus. We have also full engage composition in terms of the build, at least for Anubarak, so he goes into Underking. Epicenter probably going to come in as the level 7 talent. So no carapace build, no control attempt with additional slows through the bed of barbs here for Anubarak. Instead, just the heavy dive. And they got the earlier position on the shrine already, as we're seeing Boluo starting to move in now too. Even delaying with Whoopi to camp a little bit more at the top right to give them a better position with the shamans. But that obviously gives the lead in stacks over to CE, who are currently sitting at 12 against 2. And is Boluo actually committing here? They still have Urel up at the top when they're starting to be a little bit late if they want to make their play there. Currently looking at only 5 stacks against 23, but Whoopi comes in and they're looking for the fight. Gonda is sitting still in the bush, hoping for a good engage, maybe against Schwimpy here. Already moving in, Reset coming in from behind even, trying to get the stacks through him. The bigger they are activated, Schwimpy moves out. Gia is also in slight trouble, and with 36 against 10, there's no doubt who's going to claim Punisher number 1. It is going to be CE, as they are starting to make their play through that mid lane. So far, so good for them. Leo has already rotated topside to deal with the camp and also the minions that were pushing in. The level 7 comes slightly sooner for CE, but it's all about the push in the mid lane right now. The small wall has been opened up to follow up on the Punisher stun. And again, this is something that you can do in your own plays too, if you're playing in coordinated amateur league in particular. If you have a bit of a shot, open up the small gate next to the tower, not the mid gate, and then when the Punisher jumps in and tries to get that stun connected, if that is a decent position for you and the stun actually hits, you can follow that up with the rest and you will always have an escape path available to you, and also obviously the vision that you need for that particular play. CE can't really make anything happen here, but they had the option. Boluo with a really nice defense actually in the mid lane, so they didn't lose too much here. And now we have a situation where we could again see Boluo not only catch up in experience, but maybe even pull ahead slightly. Whoopi is currently sitting together with Jimmy in the middle. Another good penetrating round, keeping Reset at bay. It's interesting to see Reset on Tychus, to be absolutely honest with you. I kind of think that's a little bit funny. Normally we have him more so on Genji, on Li Ming, a lot of the damage dealers just generally speaking, and a lot of those that are very mobile too. But yeah, Tychus not really quite fitting that bill, but Reset, I mean, as long as it does damage, he's going to be good on it. Gia is in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble. He's likely going to fall here even. Yeah, he went in, used the Shadow Charge, had absolutely no escape therefore any longer, and then the bigger they are was activated right next to him and burned him down, so that was just the end of that. And the follow-up against Reyna and against Tyrande, immediate. There we have it, the kills coming in, and that's another one, so 4 in total. Couple of infos here when you're currently watching this. I mean, first of all, as you might have already realized, the FPS is a bit low on this, and if you haven't watched any of the Gold League matches from the Chinese region here, Then a quick explanation for you that comes because I'm not actually in the client. This is a clean feed, the video stream that we get from the Chinese organizers. And unfortunately, their video settings, the video quality is a bit lower than what I myself use on my own setup. So this is the baseline and the source material that we have to work with. So I can't actually influence that. Same goes for the UI that is being used. And while we're having CE pushing a little more context for you, Boluo at this point, they've pretty much stated already several times, joining also the live stream sometimes after the matches and talking about it, that for them the trip to Asia was pretty much them getting the chance to have a vacation there. They said obviously we expected to do a little bit better in that last group stage than we did. But we don't practice as much as other teams do these days. They rarely practiced at all. A lot of them were traveling to China, within Taiwan, or even over to Korea in the case of Poik and Japan. Since they paid for the entire trip themselves, they want to get something out of it in terms of at least experience and travel experience. So just to put a little bit more perspective on the results that we're getting from them right now. Obviously at this moment in time they are already out, or they're guaranteed to be out of the group after it finishes. But since people were asking about it quite a bit, I wanted to also drop that for everybody that couldn't watch those games live and weren't able to ask them in the live chat afterwards. So with that said, they're still fighting on for the top Punisher here. On the top lane, we're having one camp in the mid lane, still persisting for CE that could do some damage. Gonda gets attacked and wall stunned. Might actually be an opportunity for a kill, but the life binder from Alexstrasza keeps him alive. There comes the salvo and a great entomb from Leo. And that's the end of Jimmy. Reyna is down, Schwimpy is dead. Here comes the Apox setup though, as Gia's trying to make his play, but Tyrande has already fallen, and now with only 3 heroes surviving, they won't be able to make any headway here. They need to be careful that they don't lose another one. Wooby is already low, pops the ult, yes, the rest of the team is just rushing away. They're diving into the fort, and this is looking horrible right now for Boluo. They're losing Urel, and with 3 heroes down, and that fort already attacked, the Punisher hasn't even made its way in. So 4-5 and his Leoric is now starting to make the move towards the shrine again to get them at least the objective. But they have 8 kills against 1. They take down the second fort here too. And this is honestly rough. This is honestly rough. But then again, for CE there's a lot on the line. CE needs to get those points. They are in the top 4, they're guaranteed to make it into the next round. But position matters a lot. In a step ladder or gauntlet system, every single position that you can climb within the standings will guarantee that you have to play one less series in the next round. So if CE can claim the pole position, that would be a dream for them. But even just holding on to that number 2 spot in the standings would be huge compared to the position that teams like the One or SBT would then have. So CE is trying to make sure that they win this with the 2-0. Luful is already trying to get out here. Massive commitment from Boluo. They're diving in deep for the kill, and they're gonna get it. But obviously it comes at a cost. It comes at the cost at the top lane, because that's where we're seeing CE push. And there was a lot of time that Boluo just invested here. It will be a 5 versus 4 though, since CE has only 4 heroes on the map, but they still burn through that gate. And with a level 13 talent advantage and nearly a 2-level lead, we're having a fantastic spot now for CE to make a bit of a play. They're jumping in again. As you can see, oh, the Apo combo on the other hand could be decent. Life binder already used, wasn't even needed. Throwing that out and using the cooldown. Another good entomb comes through as the cocoon is hitting Tyrande. And that keep is getting attacked heavily now by the Punisher. The rest of the team is in as well. Gia is low, but he gets out. And it seems like the rest of them is also going to be able to move away here. The keep, on the other hand, newsflash, it can't run. So it falls, has no chance. And that's the first keep of the game gone 10 minutes into this one. Very, very nicely done at this point. So again, we're having CE trying to go for another kill here. They're actually diving onto Diablo, but in this case, Gonda isn't able to connect the initial stun. Doesn't have his epicenter just yet. 16 is not really too far away, so things are starting to look really tricky for Boluo. And again, they started this with a pretty normal composition actually. Still looking for kills. They have 8 kills against 2 right now, but it's difficult for them considering how much momentum they're already losing on the map. Entomb is ready, could be used if they find a setup that they can use there. We don't have Odin up for Taika, so that's definitely one of the concerns. But we're currently having also the level 13 talents here in play. And with that, Jimmy could go for the giddy up right now. Don't even have Diablo committing to anything. And the push at the top lane with the camp that was just stolen away. They're pretty much painting the map blue, as you can see. They're taking all the camps on the map right now, and it's just a defensive position for Boluo, as they have to defend against all of them and try and hold on the remaining structures. But with now the focus being in the mid and top lane, we're even having a breakthrough at the bot lane for CE as they're going through the gate, trying to drop another fort here for free. Yep, there's another attempt with the Entomb, and they engage from a Nubarak. Here comes the combo setup, but nicely done. The Cocoon countering the Apocalypse play that we saw from Diablo. Before he can execute the full combo, he got caught by the Cocoon, and even Reset with the Odin is popping that again. The minions are pushing into the fort as well, soaking the shots here. Gonda is still alive, Turanda is down, and somehow a Nubarak survives, but a Luful is still falling as Wooby jumps straight on top of Phoenix and takes him down. Jimmy is dead though. Poik trying to rush away here, he's not gonna make it either. Urel also eliminated, and that's 4 heroes down already. Only Diablo able to survive. So once again, they're starting to move through the bot lane with a level 16 talent advantage, taking them down here. And CE is just in an incredible powerful position to take the 1-0 lead in this best of 2 series. We're having 12 kills against 3 right now, so they're massively ahead when it comes to the kill count. They're going to try and drop another keep here. A little bit unlikely that they can actually take it down right away, to be honest with you, considering that Sylvanas is now back to business as well. But that level 16 is giving them, in those fights, another big spike. And with the fort, or the keep, already having taken 15% damage, we could have a play now for the Punisher, and then go for core with the next one. They're even fighting down here. It's a 4 versus 4 at this point. And against level 16 talents and a 3-level advantage, I'm not sure if you want to take this. The stats advantage alone that CE currently has is insanity. And there's a kill against Shrimpy, and that's an easy one at that. If they can get another one, they might go core. Diablo in the back has been cocooned again, and that should be a follow-up. The bigger they are, if it gets activated, I mean, they're burning Chia down. This is not even funny anymore. This is kind of insane. You don't even have to. Leo was trying to go for the shrine, and the rest of the team is saying, "The fuck are you doing? Where are you headed?" He's like, "Well, I'm gonna get the Punisher." And they're like, "What do you mean Punisher? We're gonna end now, bro." So they take the keep and they make the play for the core. Leo is still a little bit hesitant of where he wants to go. We're seeing the top push from Sylvanas. Yeah, they're not even defending here. They kind of want to try and get level 16. But this is obviously the end of game number 1, as the lead is taken by CE. Or is it? Well, Whoopi is low, and I guess they're gonna go for that core. 32% at this point in time. Shrimpy is again on the run. The Entomb catches him, and that's kill number 15 for CE, as they take down Boluo on Infernal Shrines to take the lead in the series. GG. Well played. Game number 2, CE is in the lead, everybody. Boluo now playing on Draxis, actually. So let's see if CE can take that 2-0 for themselves here. And as it turns out, we have Boluo taking the map. So I'm a bit curious to see what that means for our draft right now, if Boluo actually picks Draxis. The Haka gets banned immediately, and we have Maiev also banned out. Normally, this is a map where Genji is very powerful because you can easily traverse between the lanes, more so than others, since you can go over the debris. But quite interested to see what Boluo has up their sleeves now. This is another map where I would expect Draxis to be picked. I mean, you win the top lane. I guess there's a couple of other heroes that we could actually also see. Even a bit of a Ragnaros setup if Whoopi wants to go back on one of the heroes that he has already played in this. But yeah, ETC, Dehaka, Malfurion, and Maiev all banned out. And first pick for CE. What's it gonna be for them? Are we gonna see our little Rexa make his way in? Maybe not necessarily on the first pick position. Ana, not banned. Immediately taken. So yeah, with that we have the nano boost option for later on, so we already know who is going to go through the 4-man a little bit, but what's Boluo heading into? There's the Rexa pick, exactly. And Jojo. Frontline already set. Have the wave cleared the bot lane for the 4-man, Rexa up at the top lane. That so far is also looking pretty good. And let's see how CE is going to plan to deal with that situation. Here comes the pick against Urel, against Rexa, okay, and they're having Sylvanas too, so a bit more push power with Objective and also the boss here. And what? I'm a bit curious to see what the damage dealers are going to be, especially on the bans right now. Ooh, Garrosh gets banned. Fair enough. I honestly thought that they would ban out one of the mages, considering that Ana has already been picked, so to avoid getting wrecked by a nano-boosted mage. But apparently they're more so worried about Garrosh making a play. It surprises me slightly, since especially Johanna is usually kind of okay into Garrosh. With the iron skin and everything that you have, you normally get out of harm's way there, or you can block it completely. But they still seem to be worried here. Lulcio gets picked too. Quicker rotations between the lanes, that could actually work out. Kel'Thuzad! Alright, there we go. Kel'Thuzad gets picked. This is a little bit more the draft that I expected for game number 1, to be honest with you. As I said before, Boluo can't advance anymore, they know it as well. There comes Genji, and you already know who's gonna play Genji. That's gonna be a reset hero right there. And yeah, guys, this is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a fun one. Last pick for Boluo as we're heading into Draxis, a holdout, map number 2. And Boluo, last but not least, jumps into... I mean, they need a bit more damage. They can't just rely the entire time only on Kel'Thuzad with this damage output here. They need a little bit more. And it's Tychus, last pick for Boluo. Game number 2. We are on Draxis, a holdout. And it's time to shine here. Poik on Kel'Thuzad. Just to show us how it's done. And at the same time, the top lane is going to be the one that we are... Well, that I would focus on a little bit if we actually had camera control here. Rexa against Urel. Let's see if Wubi can claim that. It's interesting to have Gia now on Lucio. Again, the hero a bit more popular in the Chinese meta. Not really a big deal when it comes to the European setup that we're seeing these days in Division S or anywhere else in the tournament scene. But let's find out how CE is going to do in the 4-man, which we're obviously going to focus on as well, especially since we have Kel'Thuzad in play. This is one of those sad moments where us not being able to use a different user interface or observer UI is a bit of an issue, since we can't check the baseline stacks that Poik gets with Kel'Thuzad, so I won't be able to tell you when he is about to complete his quest talent. But either way, let's find out if we can actually get the damage in here. So far missing the first skill shot right away, but yeah, reset on Genji as expected. So yeah, that's what happens when you give reset Genji. He gets his resets. That was a quick kill. Obviously he only went in for the last hit there, but yep, that guy is going to have a lot of fun. Reset definitely one of the best in that role. And he is also likely going to rotate every now and then towards the top lane to threaten Rexa a little bit and allow Urel to be more aggressive on the lane. Gonda already with the engage again. Yep, 365 gets out for now, as we are seeing Poik trying to make his little plays here. So the Koreans currently doing well on the side of CE. Hyde obviously also playing on the support here. He was always quite happy when he got his hands on Ana. Actually jumped into chat after one of the series that they played roughly a week ago and was talking about how he thinks that Ana is absolutely OP at this point. There's a second kill. This time Reset is still going in deep, but it's Sylvanas who delivers the final blow. That's 2 kills against 0 already against Boluo. And CE opening this series up with a bang. Now the top lane, as I said before, should fall under the control of Rexa quite easily. It's more so the question what's happening in the 4-man. Right now what's happening there is CE eliminating Boluo wherever they stand. Doesn't really have that help that instead of healer they have an oversized minion that's currently running around there and trying to roller skate his way out of trouble. So there's no burst heal that can deal with those aggressive moves that we're seeing from Gonda, Reset, and also Luful as they're starting to move in. Boluo now, still actually as it seems, not really too far behind the experience either, but obviously they're starting to lose a little bit of ground here. Spray game is not quite on point. That's not a customized spray that we're seeing there. Reset jumps in again, gets a bit of damage out. It's by the way protected as he moves out here, but the pressure is definitely on. Yeah, and Boluo obviously going to try to win at least one map, but CE is their favorite. Let's just put it like this. And as I said before, they are second in the standings, so they want a bit more. Ooh, they want Poik, and they might get Poik, and indeed they do get Poik. Poik goes down. Seems to be a little bit nervous here today. It's just one of these things when he's in China. And well, with that, we're now having 3 kills against 0, and it starts to become a significant lead for CE. Looking at nearly level 6, and Shrimpy is gonna fall too. Actually, at this point, reset. Jumps over, tries to get away here, gets still healed. They open the gate up too. And yeah, CE is murdering people here. Yeah, definitely improved the chances from CE a little bit in this tournament when they picked up the 3 Koreans. If you get the old MVP Black members, then that is obviously quite something. The Gen G boys. Top lane, that's where we're now seeing Reset starting to make a play for the objective, as we already anticipated earlier. But Gia has moved to the top to help out with the 2. The problem is that Poik, he shouldn't really have too many stacks either here. So that's another little problem with the setup, that through the aggression that we have at the bot lane, Poik's progress is probably hindered quite a bit. We could get a kill here maybe. Gonda and Lufu were both low, and so is Reset. And with Lucio coming in, that's the kill. Genji is down, and that's Reset, already resetted. We're seeing also in terms of talents, by the way, on level 4, the Dragon Claw for Reset. So a bit of a different build, not full Swift Strike. Agile Dismount on 1, the Dragon Claw on level 4. And a little bit of momentum for Boluo, just a small amount, but let's see what they can do with it. Level 4 talent on Johanna has, by the way, not even been picked yet. I'm a bit surprised as to why that is, but, well, let's... Okay, there we go. Ooh, look at that. Goes into the cooldown reduction. Okay, fair enough. 29 stacks for In the Rhythm on level 4 for Tychus, 46 for Sylvanas. Yeah, but unfortunately even that view doesn't give us the baseline idea of where Poik is currently standing, so we have to watch out for it to be completed to get an idea there. So the Eternal Retaliation for the added wave clear from Jojo, and they're trying to get that cooldown reduction as much as they can. Once again, Gonda sitting there. Genji is trying to also control that point with 10% against 4. And this is just the issue that CE has. They need to win the format, and they know that as well. They will lose out on the top lane. Every now and then Urel might be able to get that point for a few seconds, but generally speaking, Wooby with Rexa just has the better lane matchup. And now, since we are seeing also Lucio rotate over every now and then, it's literally impossible for Urel to make anything happen here. So there we have, again, rest of the setup coming in. Reset is also matching that rotation. The bot lane, on the other hand, gets attacked as Sylvanas is aiming for Johanna here. And Jojo is a little bit far out if you ask me. I mean, Hyde is the only one dancing around there, and they're taking on Gia, and Gia won't be able to do anything. Nope, gets body blocked. Ana is sitting there, then a Luful comes in. That's a good damage output, though, against Sylvanas. But as you can imagine, Poik, even though he gets a few stacks together here, is also giving more stacks to Sylvanas, and with 5 kills against 1, this game has been rough. So, for this time, we're having Tychus, again, rotating bot lane. The talents that we're seeing here also are reflecting as well. Well, actually, at this point, we had a little bit of a damage output. I would love if you would just swap over to the talents and we could see Poik's baseline. But again, I don't have any camera control here, so we can't use that. Misha gets also called back here as Rexa actually keeps her alive. That was a quick little move with a Hearthstone that we saw from Wooby. The Divine Steed has been taken from Urel, so she can make quicker rotations now too. And the blue team is still sitting at the top side here. Genji is starting to make his way down to the bottom. Camps are now being claimed. That's going to make Urel's job a bit easier. And as you can see on the experience bar, level 10, it is close. At level 10 they have now a shot to go just use those heroics to make the plays here. Already the pushback against Gia, and the body blocks now too. There's nobody rotating over. They're buying a little bit of time for Sylvanas to get damage, and they get the kill against Tychus. But Genji has fallen at the same time. The problem is that Gia is also dropping, and they're trying to get the play in against Lucio, and nah, he dies too. Lucio down, the Eye of Horrors, straight between the eye, broke the glasses, and then another shot. Now Poik is low, gets a few hits in against Luful and Gonda, but should fall. Cooldown? Okay, there we go. Hyde comes in and says, like, yeah, you might get away from Diablo, but I'm still here, so ain't happening today. No talent taken yet for Genji, but with 9 kills against 2, the onslaught continues, and by now we have 50% on the progress bar for the objective. Rexa has retaken the top lane. Level 10 abilities are now also ready for Boluo, and we get, obviously, the Odin here. But are they really gonna go for boss? No, that would be a weird one. and just wrapping around trying to go for the kill here. And this time we're actually seeing Rex at the bot lane, so that makes things even more tricky. Urel isn't here, but neither is Khaldor. He's just now making his move in, but Whoopi is already low, and in comes Reset. Reset is, oh well, there we have the ult first of all from 365, dropping the sound barrier. But in comes the quick move with the Apocalypse. Whoopi gets sliced and diced by the Dragon Blade. And that's the end of Khaldor now too. Once more we have a chance for Hyde to maybe even use his Eye of Horus if he wants to. Doesn't even have to do anything here right now, to be honest with you. As Odin already popped in the back line. Hyde is looking to see if he can maybe get access to that objective again. But they're going for Gia, and that's the end of Johanna. She's down. They're looking at Lucio, and yep, that's the end of the lulz for him. Lucio goes down, and with that we have also the fort destroyed. Don't even need the objective for this one. And the objective is actually going to go through the top lane for the first move here with CE, so they're going to get the top lane fort pretty sure too. It's rough. Again, this is a series that matters a lot to CE. It doesn't really matter to Boluo anymore since they're already out of this particular tournament. Or they know that they can't advance, let's put it this way. But yeah, therefore this is kind of reflective of what we're seeing here. Again, Reset comes in with another kill using the Dragon Claw here too, and we have the kill against Tychus. Now they're looking for more, and Whoopi is going to be the next target in this fight, and that's kill number 2. The objective is already moving through the top lane, but the big brawl down at the bottom is adding another victim to the list. It is Johanna. Yeah, Lucio also down. He just made the list as well, and this is now 17 kills against 2. It's an absolute stomp that we're seeing here. 13 against 11. That's the level output right now. And again, a little caveat here, as we've heard from Boluo now multiple times, they paid for their own trip towards the tournament. They always had the plan to treat this half as a vacation, half playing the tournament. And with them then also having disappointing results at the beginning of the group stage, they pretty much shifted their focus a little bit more and are now currently traveling throughout Asia, traveling to places like Japan, Korea, and also mainland China. And with that said, we have CE trying to do what they came for here, getting the 2 wins so that they have a better position in the standings for themselves. They get the kills connected with 18 against 2 now. The objective obviously doing work here, but the counter kill against Genji at least. So they get 1, they're looking for more, especially Polk of course would love to get a couple of stacks together, and he gets a really nice setup here, fantastic setup, and that's the end of Gonda. That's the stacks on the souls already gone, and maybe another kill against Urel if they can speed them up with Lucio. And there we have it. Lucio down. The problem is that in the meantime Misha and Raxa have also fallen, so that's at least additional counter kills that we got here. But with now 19 kills against 5, this is still a game that only goes one direction, and that's towards the right. At the bottom of the map we're having another camp pushing in slowly but steadily. The objective is still not defended against even, so yeah, new one isn't spawning yet either. Bot lane gets defended, top lane still attacked, and with those Guardians still hovering right on the top there, we will see damage against the keep itself. Now it's very unlikely to fall, don't get me wrong, but there will be some damage on it, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Boss is obviously on the map now too, or will be in a moment, so there's a good chance that we're going to get some early aggression against that. Ooh, they go for Khaldor again, and he is immediately dead. That low HP pool definitely doesn't do well against Genji when he starts to move in, but Gonda has lost his soul, and that means that he is a lot lower now in HP too, so that's another kill here for Boluo, and they're trying to get another one against Reset. He's already attempting to move out with the help of the Dragon Blade. There's the heal, and the kill as Gia is finally saying, okay, I want one too. Goes in, gets it, Misha eliminated, still 4-5 fighting. Sound barrier comes out, okay, but they're trying to get the kill against Gia himself, and Sylvanas together with Urel is able to get that. And with Lucio now also being on the run and extremely low, he also falls. 22 kills against 7, a 2-level lead, 16 talents in the hands of CE. Whoopi about to go down. Oh, and yes, that's the kill. He's not the only one. Tychus has also fallen. It's just a massive, massive brawl that we're currently seeing here. Boluo has pretty much abandoned any kind of macro play and is just going for the big up fights, having a little bit of fun in this game here on Draxis. Now, of course, CE definitely enjoying the show, considering that they're looking at 24 kills. But they also have to make sure that they're still taking this one. Again, you have one blunder and you lose the map. in this best of 2 setup that we're seeing in this particular group stage, and you will lose out on a lot of points, and they have to do their best to avoid that. So they definitely have to take this a lot more serious. The boss is still an option for them, on the other hand. At the bottom of the map, there was another push against the keep, so both of them have lost slight damage, but there's the boss play, as expected. So starting to go straight in for this, trying to drop the boss as quickly as they can, but in comes Boluo. They're going to try and make the play over that. Gonda is zoning them out as much as he is able to. Sylvanas now also moving in. There's the Apocalypse, and oh, the sound barrier is perfect. Diablo goes down. The boss is not leashed yet. He's still in play. Rexa is dead, and actually this is something where Boluo might be able to get not only a win, but also a boss. It's Reset that goes for the boss, is able to claim it, so at least it wasn't stolen away. But with 2 heroes down, that's an issue. Ana has fallen, and there's at least a kill against Lucio. Lucio is dead, Reset still on the move away, and the top lane keep is nearly dying since we have the camp that was taken earlier doing severe damage against it. It actually looks like it is going to fall. That's not the only thing that's falling here. Tychus also has been dropped. Top keep eliminated. Boss moving through the top lane now. Gia goes down, so does Urel. Guys, we're looking at 40 kills now. It's 29 against 10. This is absolutely insane. It might actually be an even game. I mean, that boss is already doing damage. Obviously, there's still Rexa that can defend against it. We're also going to see Lucio in a moment, but the core is going to take some damage. The question is just how far can they go with this. The next Zerg wave is going to move through the bot lane. Reset at this point. They're still jumping away. They're making the play for Whoopi again. He's feigning his own death on the other hand, and so far the opponent has been fooled. There's a quick more stun, and yeah, can't fool them for that long. Whoopi down, the core is 20%. This, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be game as we have CE with a 2-0 victory against Boluo.